Hey guys, I'm Jill Powell, and today I brought my neighbor Jade in to do this gorgeous face. So she has beautiful skin, but I wanted just to make it even more beautiful. Who doesn't want to be more beautiful? So if you want to know how to get this gorgeous complexion, stay tuned and watch this video. Okay, so I'm super excited to work with you because, so Jade is my neighbor and we actually met at Bunko, which is like my favorite. It's like a dice game if you haven't played it. It's normally for women and it's kind of just, you know, a fun way to get away.
Get away, meet new people.
Meet new people. So we have a community Bunko group and we met there and I was like, I need you for one of my videos. So here she is, she came through and I'm super excited to do this beautiful face. So we're gonna start out with skin today, and I can tell, I mean, you have no makeup on. Do you have pretty like normal skin? It looks not too dry, not too oily.
Yeah, I'd say it was kind of in between.
Do you get oily in some areas or?
Right here in the T-zone.
T-zone, okay. I mean, just looking at her, obviously, I always use my hands when I go in and work with new clients because then I can feel like texture or anything like that, but I also get a good look at the skin before I get started, and I can kind of guess what I'm thinking in my head, but I also ask. So always ask your clients kind of what their skin is like because maybe they get super oily throughout the day, maybe they get super dry, and you want to tailor your products based on their needs. So I thought she had pretty normal skin. I could maybe see the T-zone oiliness. You're a tiny bit shiny up there, but for the most part, it looks pretty healthy. So we're gonna make it look amazing. Okay, so to start out, I'm going to be using the Algenist Genius Ultimate Anti-Aging Vitamin C Serum. I mean, who doesn't want anti-aging? You have beautiful skin, so
thank you.
You have nice and firm, no wrinkles. You have very, very beautiful skin. So she doesn't need a lot, but vitamin C is known for its brightening, so it's your BLT. It's going to brighten, lighten, and tighten, just so you know. So if you ever see vitamin C, that's exactly what it does. It brightens the complexion, it lightens any dark spots, and it tightens pores and skin so that you have that beautiful, glowing, natural skin. So I don't want anything too heavy, but this vitamin C serum is going to not only hydrate, but it's just going to be a good skin prep for the makeup that we do. And she came in already moisturized, so this is just going to add everything we need to prep the skin perfectly for the makeup. It's nice because it absorbs, like it doesn't feel this side, it doesn't feel heavy on your skin. There's not like a greasy feeling. It's almost like a little tacky, right?
Yeah, it's really nice.
So it's really, really great for underneath makeup and just a great product in general. So now I'm going to be using the Algenist Complete Eye Renewal Balm. If you've seen any of my videos, you know this is one of my all-time favorite eye creams. And you were saying you just ran out of your eye cream, huh?
Yes.
No, we got to get you some more. Eye cream is so important. It's so amazing. But this one is great for puffiness, dark circles, fine lines, wrinkles, kind of like your all-in-one. So I love it in my kit because it kind of combats everything. Always during skin prep, you want to prep the lips as well. So a lot of times I'll use the Bite Beauty Lip Mask, but I just got this new Bite Beauty Agave Lip Balm. So I think it's kind of like the lip mask, except in a balm form and maybe not as oily or hydrating or whatever, because the other one's kind of like a cream. This one is definitely more like a waxy kind of chapsticky formula. So we're going to try it out. I haven't tried it yet. This is the first time I'm using it. I'm just getting a little product off and rubbing it into the lips. But you always want to apply your lip products at the beginning so that they have time to settle in before you do lips. So I have this Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist, and basically it's a hydrating mist that creates a little bit of dew. A lot of people will put this on top of products or on top of foundation to kind of set or create that luminous glow at the very end. I like to use it a couple times throughout, so I'm going to use it after our skincare prep before makeup, so go ahead and close your eyes. Be generous with it. I love this stuff. It's going to hydrate the skin. It's going to give a little bit of a dew, a little bit of a glow. So it's great to put underneath your makeup as well as on top. And I'm actually going to skip a primer today. I feel you have really smooth skin. You don't need like filling in of pores. You have like no pores, no visible pores at all. Jealous. And I'm going to be using the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. So since this is already long wearing, you can still use a primer with it, but you don't necessarily have to if you don't have any other skin conditions to worry about. And I really like the skin prep that we did. So I'm going to skip a primer today and just go in with the foundation. Don't get mad at me. I don't always use a primer. And if you've seen any of my videos, you know I do multiple colors of foundation. So I've selected 2 colors. I have Barcelona and Fiji. So Fiji's a little bit lighter and Barcelona's a little bit deeper. And I'm gonna go in with it's a synthetic brush. This one's by BH Cosmetics. It's from a set. It's the number 4. And it's just gonna give like a really nice kind of buffing. She doesn't need a lot of coverage. She has this is her with no makeup. Like, she's beautiful skin. So I'm just going to try to replicate the colors. She has a little bit more color on her forehead from the sun, which is natural. So I'm gonna replicate that. So I'm gonna take Barcelona, which is that deeper color, and I'm going to buff it into her skin on her forehead. And then I'm going to bring the same color, Barcelona, throughout her cheeks and nose. And this brush, because the bristles are a little bit longer and rounded, like a rounded edge, it's going to just give a nice little soft kind of airbrushed finish. And then just turn this way towards me a little bit. We get it on her cheeks on this side and just kind of buff it in. And a little bit on her chin. Now I'm going to go in with a lighter color, and I may mix the two a little bit. So Fiji is the lighter color. I'm going to go along her jawline. Throughout the center of her face. Just kind of matching her natural skin tones, because that's how you make makeup look the most natural. I am lightening up just the center of her forehead just to create consistency. And then I am bringing it just a little bit along her chin. And I do like to bring just a tiny bit down on the neck. Again, for consistency. Gosh, you have such great skin.
Thank you.
I mean, it's already like perfected. Jealous. No, I'm gonna make you blush. Literally, I'm gonna make her blush soon. This foundation's amazing because it really has like a soft, luminous glow to it. And then adding that Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist as well just creates this beautiful natural skin glow. I love it. Okay, so we've done her foundation and it looks so good. I like you. This might be your new foundation. It looks so good on you. So we are going to go in with a little bit of concealer under eye. And this is the Becca Ultimate Coverage. I really like this concealer because it really does have a ton of coverage. And because it has so much coverage, you don't need to wear it very thick. But it has a really kind of like a viscous, like a dense texture. It's not really thin. So it definitely stays put, and it's got a ton of coverage. You might even be able to go a little bit lighter. So this one came off, but I feel like it might be Banana. And then this one is Latte. And I think that might be better suited because Banana just didn't, if it was Banana. The Unknown Becca color, which is, go ahead and look up for me. It's just a little bit dark. So yeah, this concealer is definitely on like the thicker side. But if you like a lot of coverage, if you like a full makeup look, or honestly, if you just have problems with it staying, I feel like the stay power of this concealer is really great. If you have a lot of texture under your eyes, like if you're in your 50s, 60s, or just have a lot of texture under your eyes, this might not be the best suited for you because of the texture of it. I would suggest something a little bit lighter. I personally like the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion if you have a lot of texture under your eyes, but Jade has, again, like poreless, lineless, beautiful skin, so this concealer is actually perfect for her. And we are just brightening up under the eyes. I'm using a flat synthetic brush just to apply it, and then I'm using my finger just to blend it out and kind of remove any excess. You don't want too much excess in there so that it doesn't crease. Okay, so she is all dewy, glowy, concealed, foundationed. So let's go back in and bring a little bit more contour with a contour palette. So she does have some natural contours because I did use 2 different colored foundations and a lighter concealer. So those three are creating a lot of dimension on her face. But let's go in and contour a little bit because I feel that your face we're gonna do kind of like a fun eyeshadow look later. So I feel like your face can handle makeup, right?
Yeah, I can.
I feel like it can. So we're gonna contour her. And I'm gonna use the Sigma Sculpt palette. Sorry, hair keeps getting on my lip gloss. So this Sigma Sculpt palette has highlight and contour in it. It's really great. The colors are pretty neutral, which is awesome. So you have Faking It, which is like a lighter color. You have Throw Shade, which is your medium kind of warm bronzery color. And then you have Hollow, which is exactly that. It's more for hollowing or creating a lot of dimension. This one is very dark, so just be cautious. If you have a lighter skin tone, you may not go for that one. Or if you're using it, just very, very, very light. So I am going to start out, tuck your hair. I'm gonna start out with Throw Shade. And I'm using an angled kind of blush brush. And I'm just gonna follow, she has natural contour going on because she's got good cheekbones. So I am just coloring in what she already has. Following her natural cheekbone, I'm not changing the shape of her face. I am just accentuating it. So on Jade, she's kind of that typical center of the ear down to the corner of the mouth. And I'm starting at the center of the ear, and as I get towards the corner of the mouth, I'm lifting up, and that way there's no like strict start and stop right there. And we'll do the same on the other side. So again, it's pretty much center of the ear to the corner of the mouth, and I'm just going to shade it. And I'm using like small, kind of quick, still not pressing very hard, right? Like
No, not at all.
just kind of dancing along. Really soft, and as you can see, it's all about sheer layers. Just build your color to the intensity that you want. A lot of people say that if you don't set first, you're gonna get muddiness. I never get muddiness, and I think it's because I do a little bit at a time and I just build it. So I'm not putting way too much on and then trying to blend it out and it getting all like muddy and sticky and weird in certain spots. So definitely those sheer layers will help. I keep getting your little wispy hairs.
Those baby hairs give me problems.
Look at those cheeks. So pretty. Just a little bit more, just because I love her cheeks. So we're gonna just play with them. And I'm gonna do just a tiny bit along the top of the forehead. Little baby hairs again. They wanna come out and play.
All day. Every day. I battle.
You know what I love for those? I don't have one right now, but the bedhead stick, if they still make it, it's like this little stick. It's really, really great. It's almost like a little wax, and you just kind of.
Really? Oh, I need that.
I use it on shoots a lot.
Really? That's exactly what I need.
So I'm going to contour her jaw just a little bit with the residual, whatever's left on my brush. Nothing too crazy. I just grab a tiny bit of Faking It there too. I don't do a ton of jaw contouring. I just do a little bit of shading because I do like it to stand out in photos, but I don't like in person looking like you contoured your jaw. It's just, for me, it's not my aesthetic, so I personally just like it to look like a natural shadow. Since we bronzed you a little bit, we're gonna bronze your neck. And I'm using that Throw Shade just to give her a little bit of color. Okay, I am also going to do a little bit of nose contour. I personally don't do a lot of this. I don't do a heavy nose contour every day, but when I do have like a nice contour look, sometimes it looks really nice to bring it all together. So I'm actually gonna have you turn just slightly towards me so I can get it nice and even. And I'm gonna start actually up by, she's got a really kind of perfect nose. So I am just going to accentuate her perfection. But I'm gonna start up by the brow because I want to do a fun eyeshadow look later. So I'm just using a fluffy blending brush. This one's by Morphe, the M511. And I'm just kind of really subtly shading the sides. I'm going to shade the tip just a little bit. I don't want it too crazy. Keep that lightness in the center. And really, this should not be super noticeable. Okay, so we've sculpted with this palette. We may as well highlight with this palette. So I've got 3 different colors. I have Shine On, Poppin', and 24K. 24K seems like it's going to be great for that deeper skin tone. For Jade, I'm going to try this Shine On color. This one looks a little too like rosy for what I'm going for. So I'm going to try Shine On. And I'm just using kind of like a small domed brush. This one's actually an old brush from Sephora. I believe they still make something pretty similar to this, or MAC may as well. Ooh, that's pretty. So this is kind of like a pearly color. Oh, that's really pretty. Okay, I like it. And I'm just taking the color on the tops of her cheekbones just to highlight. I'm bringing a little bit on her cheek, the apple of her cheek. I might do just a tiny bit on the bridge. Throw a little on the top up there. Maybe a tiny bit in the center. Okay, so now we're going in with the Sigma blush palette. And I love this one because it has pretty much like everything you're going to need for blush. And I like to mix. So I think I'm gonna do a tiny bit of this Pinkin' and Tiger Lily. I don't want it too orange, but I don't want it too pink. So I am mixing the two. I feel like you can kind of do any color blush. Like you could do peachy blushes, you could do pink blushes, you could do plummy blushes. Do you feel like you can do that, or is there a certain?
I've only done one type of blush, and it has like a pink and like it's from MAC. It has like the marbled one. That's the only one I use.
Which is funny because how many colors are in that marble? Quite a few, right? See, she can do a lot of colors.
I guess I can.
Yeah, you definitely can. Okay, so I love these brow pencils that have this spoolie on the end because that's what I used to brush my brow hairs. So brush up, and that way you can see the shape. The top of the brow always gives you what the shape is, and then you can correct whatever you need to. So this one is the Hourglass Arch It pencil, Arch Brow Sculpting Pencil. I love these pencils because they're nice and firm, so you're not getting like that super waxy texture. You're literally getting just pigment, and they have like a triangle shape to them. So they are super quick and easy to use on yourself. I personally will use these a lot on myself because I love this shape because I can just draw it on really quickly. They're a little bit, like I said, they're a little bit more hard of a formula. They're not super waxy. They're like kind of harder and dry, but I find that it stays on really well. So great pencil. They've got a great color range. This one is, what are we talking about? Soft brunette. So Jade has some blonde in her hair, so she doesn't need a super dark brow, but she definitely loves a good brow. So we're going to try and give her a good one. Okay, so I've got pretty much her shape drawn in. I am going to go in with a little bit of shadow just to define in certain areas. So I'll be using the Anastasia Brow Powder Duos, and I think I'm gonna go in here. This one is medium brown, I think, or taupe. And I'm just gonna define the bottom a little bit more. Just give her a nice, good shape. I'm gonna define the top a little bit. So because I have that brow pencil laid down first, the powder is sticking and making it a little bit more defined. So we did make her very glowy, but I do want to use just a tiny bit of translucent. She said she gets oily in her T-zone, so I want to be careful with that, and I'm going to just use a tiny bit of translucent powder in her T-zone just to make sure that those areas don't get oily throughout the day. So I'm going to powder her nose and just this inner part of like her under eye and cheek, because then everything else that's glowy will look better. The powder that I'm using is the LC Translucent Powder in light medium. And this one is just really great because it kind of diffuses, softens, sets, makes it look amazing. And I used just the MAC 225. This is kind of one of my old school brushes, but it's like a gigantic blending brush, something just small and natural bristle that you can just, I only wanted to get in certain areas, so I didn't want to use like a huge powder brush. I just wanted to get exactly where I wanted to get. So that's why I chose this brush. Okay, so we are done with skin. She has beautiful skin, so this was super easy. But just to recap, she has pretty normal skin, a tiny bit of oiliness in the T-zone. So we started out with the vitamin C serum from Algenist. We did use the Algenist Eye Renewal Balm under the eyes and the Tatcha Dewy Skin and Glow as a spray to hydrate everything. I could even do it at the end right now, but I think she's pretty good. So that is an option for you at home if you want to do that. And I did skip the primer today, guys, and I know, don't get mad at me, but she did not need it. So we went in with 2 colors of the NARS All Day Luminous Wear Foundation. So I used Fiji and Barcelona just to contour and create dimension on her face. And then we used the Becca Concealer under the eyes just to really clean that up, take away any dark circles. And I went in and contoured with the Sigma Contour Palette and Highlight Palette. I did use that highlight as well on the upper cheekbones, and then I used the Sigma blushes from the blush palette on her apples of her cheeks. And then I set a little bit with the LC Translucent Powder in light medium and perfected her brows with the Arch pencil from Hourglass, as well as the Anastasia Brow Duo from Anastasia. So, oh, and on her lips is the Agave Lip Balm from Bite Beauty. So she is beautiful and natural and contoured and ready to start her eye makeup. So I hope you guys liked this video and I hope you learned something. Thanks again for watching my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment below what you want to see next. All of the products used in my video are also linked below. And if you want to see more, follow me anywhere at Jill Powell Glam. Thanks again.